I'm a cosplayer.
I am.
Cosplayer.
I'm a cosplayer.
Cosplayer.
Children, hold my beer. All right, buckle up, Buttercup, because I was not inspired. I was forced to this.
Yes, I hope that helps you figure out who the mole is, but I don't...
And the right answer is... Hello there, I'm Magnolia Pixie Danny, your host for Gank Studios. In this new series we prepared for you, we invited several cosplayers, content creators to play games and talk about their passion. So if you're into that, be prepared and make sure you subscribe before we begin. Let's get into it. Introducing the Cosplayers! First game of Creator Chats, I want to introduce you to another special guest. Hey! Everyone say hi! Hey! So we have Abby over here. You want to tell us more about yourself?
Hi, I am Abby. I actually work as a chef, but I work more in food safety. So I'm really excited to be here. I love everyone's cosplay. It's gonna be so hard to tell.
We're excited that you're here, and yeah, culinary is also an art on its own, so I love that. So what Abby is gonna do for us here is guess the mole among us. Who do you think is the fake cosplayer?
I'm not sure. Everyone's cosplay looks so good, so I'm gonna have a hard time for sure.
Yeah, I wish you luck. I wish them luck, because we're gonna have prizes. So before we begin, I want to ask you, Abby, do you have any prior knowledge regarding cosplay or gaming or anything in that community?
Not really. I do see a lot of cosplayers from anime, but I have not really been exposed to it. Gaming, not so much. My siblings play a lot of video games, but not me personally.
Then you're a perfect test subject. Okay, great. I'd love to introduce this hobby, craft, and passion with you and our fellow guests over here, or viewers. So let's begin with that.
Do it. Who was your first cosplay?
My name's Jello. My very first cosplay was Nightwing from DC Comics.
Hi, my name is Solibo. I did female Naruto from Naruto. Hi, my name is Reg, and my first cosplay was Jinora from Legend of Korra. Hi, my name is Angel, and my first cosplay was Mio from K-Oni.
Hi, my name is Jin. My first cosplay was Gogo Yubari from the movie Kill Bill by Quentin Tarantino.
Hey, my name is Kenrana. My first cosplay was Hidan from Naruto. It was a moment.
Hi, my name is Larry, and my first cosplay was Marshall Lee from Adventure Time.
Oh, I love that.
The body paint. So, Abby, what do you have to say regarding their first cosplay?
You know, I'm not getting much information. I think it's still hard to decide just from that, so we need to ask more questions.
Next thing you know, she's asking for a social security number.
I will. Would they ask you to bring your NBI clearance for this one, so you have to show it to me. The only one I haven't caught was K-On, but I was aware, I just didn't watch it. But it's very telling, everyone's ages from what their first cosplay. When was your first cosplay convention?
Alright, let's show how old we really are, guys.
Mine's not that bad. I started in 2013 or 2014. I'm trying to remember, but around that time. Let's see what everybody else thinks.
Actually, the same. I can't remember the exact event, but it was May 2013.
Super vivid memory.
Mine was April 2, 2016, day 2 or 3 of NextCon in SMX.
Mine was around 2010 at Ozine Fest. I'm one of the OGs, girl. Children, hold my beer. The first event I went to doesn't exist anymore. What? It was in 2005. I have faith in my wisdom from age.
I had a feeling you were gonna be the oldest because I was literally watching you already when I started. And I started in 2009. Metro Comic Con August.
I was reading
it as a Mega Mall.
It's becoming more clear to me who's been in the hobby for longer, so that's kind of more proof that they
are cosplayers?
Or I'm lying.
That's gonna help. That's gonna help with my decision making.
It's gonna make
She's lying in character.
2013 also. It was probably like an Ozine Fest in Mega Mall as well.
Okay. I'm good with that. I think I'm starting to form some opinions. But maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, so who inspired you to start cosplaying?
So the very first person who inspired me to cosplay was my sibling. And at one time I had to like chaperone them to like a convention because my mom was like, we don't know these guys. How are you hanging out with these dudes? You gotta get your brother, you know?
Do you think a lot of the conventions are, unsafe for kids, or do you think it's a safe space where?
Well, in the first place, it's people we don't know. So I had to do chaperone. But yeah, it all depends on the con and their policies and all. More or less, yeah, it's nice to have a big brother, right? And then you did mention that you like Nightwing, right?
Yeah, I did.
One of the guys in that cos group was like, hey, we have an extra Nightwing costume. That's when I started. I wore someone else's costume. Oh my God. That was so cute. So I was chaperoning in costume. So yeah, that's the story. Until now, that's what I've been doing. Or am I? I would talk about my legitimate experiences as a professional cosplay crafter, but then be like, are you sure I'm saying everything right? Are you sure I'm telling the truth? And I think, oh boy, I think I sold it.
I actually can't remember who inspired me. I feel like I was just in the anime scene, and when you go down that rabbit hole and you go into conventions and you see the cosplayers, I think it was just the general concept of cosplay that got me into cosplaying. Like, I wanted to look like my favorite anime character, and so I decided to dress up as one. I really wanted to turn into Princess Zelda from Twilight Princess in 2006. So, like 10 years later, I was like, I'm gonna try it.
It was actually my friend when we were in elementary. She's actually the fan of a lot of animes, a lot of comics, mangas. So I really wanted to be friends with her. That's when we decided that we'll try cosplay together. So what got me started cosplaying was the Lord of the Rings movie. I loved the costumes, and I was like, it was the first thing I think that really convinced me that people in costume could be so convincing as characters that I'd like believe that they were real because of this person in this amazing costume, and I like wanted to do something like that. But of course I didn't have the skills or the budget to make anything Lord of the Rings. So I started out with simple like school uniform type costumes, and I think that's a fun like way for people to start, because now I can do some of the harder costumes that I've been wanting to wear.
All right, buckle up, Buttercup, because I was not inspired. I was forced to this. I mean, we had to win, right? So my strategy was to just be as real as I could. Like, I give all the tea, just tell them everything about my life experience, tell them from my childhood all the way to my high school, to my college. You get the gist. The story is, I had a best friend. We're still best friends. So I have a best friend, and she was like saying, hey, Kara, I'm gonna start cosplaying. And me, my dumbass, I was like, yeah, I'll join you. On around like July 2000, I'm really aging myself here. July 2009, there's a declaration that there's gonna be no classes. So she tells me, okay, Kara, let's go to the mall. We're gonna go buy your stuff already. And I was like, what? I was just joking. And well, that's the story of how I bought my Akatsuki cloak in, y'all know. Remember, people were buying their costumes or like making it from out of nowhere. So that we are prehistoric. Comic Alley though. Comic Alley. That is how I was inspired to start cosplaying.
Similar story. A bunch of friends said, hey, why don't we cosplay? And I was like, oh, okay, you know what, why not? Yeah, and it wasn't that big of a leap for me because ever since, like, when I was a kid, I'd, like, make toys and props out of cardboard and stuff like that, and then eventually, like, wood. So it wasn't that big of a leap creatively, but it was kind of out of nowhere for me. Like, my friends wanted to, and I was like, okay, yeah. And then after that, that's when the idols and the inspirations come, when you're getting to know the people in the community.
You see, every time we finish these things, I just feel more confused about who's faking it. Do you make your own costumes or props? Okay, I'm gonna a closer look because I think some of this looks like it was
Ooh, you want to look at this?
Okay.
I guess that's a compliment. What do you think?
It looks good.
Thank you.
This one, I think that's something you can buy, but that just says that you, if you did make it.
No, I did not make my fabric parts, but I did make all of the props. Thank you. I won't say anything more about this.
Okay. So the clothes you buy, or you have it custom made?
I have it custom made because as a cross-dresser myself, it's hard to get exact sizes all the time. When I have to buy a costume online, I'll have to like cinch it up on my waist. I'd have to wear like these thigh pads, and sometimes it just doesn't fit right. So, I told you that I made this, and some of the accessories aren't exactly great from the store-bought, so I make them look nicer by using whatever skills I have.
I'm gonna look extra close while you speak, because I think... Okay, thank you.
A very interesting fact about me is this is actually my full-time job. I make cosplay costumes for cosplayers. And this is something that I made in 3 hours last night. Do you believe me? I was so nervous. She kept glancing at me. I was feeling like literal a bead of sweat going down my face.
Oh, you could be lying. How about the wig? Is that... that's what I'm always curious about with cosplayers. Is everything, it's already formed, or do you guys have to style it?
You usually have wig stylists in the community. So it's a whole industry. You have your prop makers, you have your costume designers, you have your wig stylists. This wig, I made it like an hour before I left the house.
So you have to give it a haircut as well. And
Yes. It started like with a really frizzy wig. That in an hour, I turned it into this.
so how about you? Did you make this from scratch, or did you buy it? Did someone make it for you?
I made this.
How? Don't tell me how.
Yeah.
I don't believe
What are you about? It's a pattern that you can buy for like Nintendo patterns, just like Zelda and Fire Emblem. So I was like, I really like the supporters. This creators. I'm like, I'm gonna buy that pattern and I'm gonna make it. Cause like when like their instructions, it's like it feels like they're holding my hand as I sew. And then I got this. And then I just did it. The bodysuit is like, I painted it because I was like scared to like get paint on other people. Because like, consideration for others, especially like in a con setting, like it's gonna be crowded, right? So like, what if I get it on someone's like very expensive brocade fabric piece ball gown? I'm like, oh, I'll feel bad.
I'll move on. But I'll keep my eye on you. I think all of you.
So this one, I had this made, custom made. If you can see the fabric, this is actually swimsuit material. Yes. Yeah, like it's very shiny. Aside from being unskilled in sewing, I believe in supporting local creators.
I love that.
Okay. I'm someone who competes internationally for cosplay, so I do know a little bit of everything. I styled my wig, I made these props. The tunic was made by
That's amazing.
Yeah. So one of my passions is picking out fabric. So when I saw this fabric, I was like,
Wow.
I'm gonna make Link. And then I made the chainmail one by one.
Wow.
Yeah. So I've seen people do chainmail under tunics. It always drew. So what I did actually was put horsehair underneath so that it keeps its form. Some of them are real leather. It's really sturdy. Some are foam and some are real leather.
So are some of the accessories that you guys wear are pre-made and you just kind of customize it with... See, that's something people...
So had I known that we were gonna be talking about craftsmanship, I would have worn the costume I actually wore. I mean, I made, because like cosplay comprised two words, right? Costume and role play. As a cosplayer, my focus is more on the role play. That's why you hear me in this voice. It's Harley Quinn. So like, I tend to focus more on the role play aspect than the costume. So, but I do a little bit of both. So sometimes I make my own stuff. Sometimes I just modify things. Like this one, I just bought this, modified it to what I want. And yeah, so not all cosplayers are gonna be like the ones making their own stuff, but I have huge respect for them. I don't know how to make shit.
Okay, so I didn't make the costume because, as I mentioned a while ago, if I'm telling the truth, I focus on props, right? So this was all custom made, but I worked very closely with the tailor the seamstress who did it to like give like references and like really, so this is Cal Kestis from Jedi Fallen Order. It's a Star Wars game. So like I went into photo mode in the game, and it's like screenshots. This glove looks like that. This and then the stitching here and all of that. But the hard parts, those are all me. So these were all custom designed. Yeah, well, okay, this is store-bought. I don't do metal. That's a bit insane. Yeah, but yeah, so all the hard surface stuff, I designed and 3D printed that. Absolutely, yeah. So anything fabric that I wear, because I don't know how to sew. So that, you know. And then the wig also was commissioned and styled. So I bought a wig and then they styled it to match the character. Yeah.
So why is there always drama in the cosplay community? Start.
I can start. Well, I guess because people are people, and wherever there's people, there's going to be drama. And especially in a sort of a field, a hobby that's very creative, we have a lot of very passionate people. So there's always a discourse about being accurate in your cosplay. And there's some people who feel very strongly about, well, if you're gonna cosplay, you need to, or you need to look part, you need to act the part. But then, you know, other people also just, hey, it's cosplay. It's for fun. So, I mean, there are just these clashing ideologies, I guess, that a lot of different people have. So that's one cause.
I mean, seem like you always have a lot to say about drama.
Well. I like to stay out of it, but like, I mean, I think it has to be known that not just cosplay. It's like literally every community you go to, there's always got to be politics, drama. And it's always funny to me because sometimes when I look at cosplay drama, I'm always like, who cares? You're still both nerds and wigs. Right? Like, what is the tea, sis? What is the tea? At the end of the day, you are a grown-ass person dressed up in, like, as a fictional character. Like, at the end of the day, we're both nerds. But, like, I think it also has to do with the fact that this community is, like, becoming really big. You're coming, as we said, all schools of thought. There's young people who do dumb me included. When I was young, when I started in this community... I'm gonna admit, I was a little, I spoke a lot of things, and then when you kind of grow up, you kind of just go like, dang, I had so much pent-up anger not really thinking about that there's a real world outside this community. Like, what was my struggle? And I think some people just haven't outgrown that yet, like, Miss Ma'am, there are people dying, you know, chill out. People are dying, Kim.
Kim, there's people that are dying.
So I think it's just about, like, people still thinking they're in high school.
I feel like it comes from people not realizing that people can think differently and it still all counts. Some people try to gatekeep, some people say that only people who make their own stuff is blah blah blah. You only wear a wig, you're not really a cosplayer. It's like, I think the problem with the cosplay community is like everyone thinks there's this right or wrong way of doing things. And the thing is, cosplay is supposed to be accessible to everyone. And I think everyone keeps forgetting that. And like, at the end of the day, just like what Miss Ma'am said here. Miss Madam said here, we're all cringe. Let's be honest. We're all cringe. Accept the cringe.
Embrace it.
And we are free.
Okay, adding to what everyone else is saying, we need to set our own egos aside. This is a very fun hobby or livelihood. At the end of the day, take it off. I don't look like this in real life. Speaking for myself only, I have no right to be so mayabang when I know there's so many people who are amazing regardless of like how they choose to like spend this hobby. Like they can be, you know, like really good at characterization or making or being so nice in this hobby, and I'm like, well, at the end of the day, I'm just like, I think I'm average, and like to humble yourself, it just like kind of just helps you keep out of the drama. So,
oh no, I'm just naturally quiet. I think just going back to why there's so much drama in the community, I feel like what you seek out will follow you. So if you seek out the drama, of course, it will follow. There's also the added factor that we live in such a digital age that it's so easy to forget that there's a face behind the screen. So if you see someone being bullied, it's so easy to jump onto the bandwagon, right? But you guys forget there's somebody like hurting behind the screen. So I think you just have to be mature. You have to like decide what is worth to like notice or just drop. Honestly, a lot of the petty drama in the community shouldn't even be posted in the first place. Something that can be settled behind the scenes.
Let's go back to like we were talking about, you know, how why there's drama in the community and how like differing opinions can, you know, cause discord and this and that. I like to say that I am a maker by profession, and I make my own stuff as my job. Being the kind of skill level that I have, sometimes people are like, because like I use 3D printers all the time, and people are always like, and that's cheating. Oh my God, I had that so, right? It's like, people have been asking me, is 3D printing cheating? Here, I would just like to tell everybody, no, I don't think it is, because in the first place, you need to learn all of these skills. You have to learn all these new skills like 3D modeling. Oh, you could say that, oh no, you could just download that online. But honestly, if you 3D print something like this, it's just another kind of making. It's another kind of art form. It is learning, and this is why I teach it as well. Especially people who want to get in on the technology. I have workshops, this and that, and I just find it so amazing that more people are seeing it differently. That, oh no, 3D printing is a tool. Yes.
Can we just like mention real quick in terms of drama? Sometimes the drama isn't even related to cosplay at all.
No.
It's just the fact that they're both cosplayers. Because like sometimes drama is just like, Miss Ma'am, this could have been an email. This could have been between you two people, but you decided that everything has to be in social media. You know what I'm talking about. Okay,
Yeah, here.
So, Fred, have you guessed who the real cosplayers are and who the fake one is among us?
I have just my guess, but I don't think it's good. I think I keep questioning myself with the decision, because a lot of them could be good liars, a lot of them could be bad liars just from inexperience. So I'm doubting myself, but I'll just pick one, like the one that kind of speaks to my instinct the most.
Okay, so what about you tell us who is your top 3? Who is your top 3, and let's break down why you think so.
Actually, Sakura cosplay, Zelda cosplay, not for anything, but I just think that the answers, sometimes I'm listening to it, it's just like you're agreeing with everyone else, though that's not a bad thing, but I just have so little to go on. You know what? I think you are very suspicious. Just how you explain stuff.
We'll see about that.
They are cosplaying as cosplayers. All right, so can we have the top 3 stand in the middle? Tell us why you think these guys particularly are your top 3 fake cosplayers among us, and pick your top 1. Why?
So I'll start with my top 2 safe ones. Like, I think just the anxiety that you have around the hobby sounds real to me. I don't think that's something you can fake. And I don't know, like, you know stuff about how your body paint can transfer. I don't think that's something you can know unless you've experienced it. So you're safe. I think you're safe. Sakura is also safe because, yeah, I don't want to say the wrong thing, but I think you just don't invest in the hobby as much as, you know, the hardcore fans do. But I think you're there. Like, I think you do the work, and I think you go to all these conventions and you do the hobby. You mentioned very casually that you cross-dress, and I am in the LGBT community. I see a lot of drag shows. It's a very thin line. So I think that the costumes you cross-dress would be in drag, but then you make stuff. And I think this is something you made just for this thing. Because you have the 3D printer, you know, you have the access to doing this, you know, just for this.
And the fake cosplayer among us is... not Jello.
But that is such a you're like,
I was so glad.
that's so true though.
Oh
Like,
my God.
beats and like cosplayers, there's not much difference.
Oh my goodness, it's about... it was just so funny. I could have stopped my laughter in some parts of the whole game, but I think I did great. I was super surprised at how it turned out, actually. I guess the hair kind of gave it away that, oh, maybe he does drag.
And the right answer is... Wait, disclaimer!
Disclaimer though, I did actually try to. I was honest with my experience with cosplay though. We're actually best friends from elementary, high school. Yeah, so we actually went to conventions together. So I'm not a professional cosplayer.
Hey guys, so after this activity, I just want to clarify something. Anyone can be a costume player, a cosplayer, because this is about having fun.
It is.
Expressing your passion for a video game, an anime, etc. But at the same time, you can dip your toes in it and not necessarily identify as one, just like Angel. Sorry we had to trick you, but we actually prepared for us.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Oh my god, I have a place to store my wig.
Once again, thanks for watching, and this is
Gank
Studios!